Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind. The mystery of the missing binder. Everybody loves a good story, huh? Well, the media obviously knows this, and so instead of doing their jobs and reporting the facts as they stand, what do? Well, the media does what it always does. It tells a story. Well, let me clarify. It tells a story that is specifically curated and designed to promote division, fear, and benefit the left-wing globalist elite. In other words, it's election season, so let the anti-Trump fake news season begin. Well, it's already started. I just finished recording the first video of the day earlier, and I ended that video on a question asking, I wonder what the Democrats are going to do next. Obviously, they're not going to sit there and do nothing. The Democrats have a lot of fault, but being lazy and inactive, that ain't one of them. But I was going through the list of all the narratives that they've built up that have all pretty much collapsed at this point. What's the next one? Well, apparently, it's the case of the missing binder. Such a massive fake news nothing burger that all we need to debunk the whole thing, to break one of the structural pillars at the bottom to make the whole narrative collapse, is literally one document. Let me show you guys exactly what I mean by that. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, the narrative has been set. Donald Trump is stealing state secrets.
How concerned should we be knowing that this binder filled with key intelligence about Russian interference has gone missing?
So that's the latest fear-mongering story. And trust me when I tell you, they're putting effort into this one. Like I just stated in the intro, when it comes to effort to mobilize narratives, never underestimate the Democrats. If we take a look at CNN, they mobilized 5 journalists to write this massive piece. The mystery of the missing binder, how a collection of raw Russian intelligence disappeared under Trump. And now I'm not going to read the article because, we covered most of it yesterday. Not necessarily this article, but the facts surrounding the story. But what I do want to show you is just the amount of effort and the sort of subliminal messaging baked into this thing. If we scroll down the article here, it's essentially a novel with all of these graphics of Donald Trump and Mark Meadows and others, photos that they've edited to make look as if it's like an FBI investigation. Then they created this whole thing, this web of connection, all the people supposedly involved, the DOJ, the CIA, the Capitol building, the White House, the National Archives, the FBI, a redacted binder, and intelligence files. It's all connected. Looking like the wacky conspiracy theory guy. I'm not exactly sure what I'm looking at. It's just a bunch of federal departments and people surrounding Trump, including a journalist. And as you scroll down, it changes that web. It's just freaking Hollywood. And clearly it's all orchestrated. CNN wrote like a 10,000 word piece with 5 different journalists, which all hit on one day, the exact same day that Cassidy Hutchinson, who's dropping this supposed bombshell, is doing a media tour, selling her new book, which supposedly goes into the mystery binder. The whole thing is once again theater. And speaking of Cassidy Hutchinson, who's at the core of this new Trump bombshell, well, one of her appearances on CNN just yesterday with Jake Tapper pretty much exposed the whole damn thing for the fraud that it is.
Meadows takes what you believe is a classified binder, Crossfire Hurricane, which is the Trump-Russia investigation, and he takes it to 2 far-right media figures who basically toe the MAGA party line, and Cipollone tells you there's classified information in that to get it back, and you get it back. Meadows said...
I don't personally get it back.
But it gets brought back. It gets brought back.
Not in binders, by the way. That was unbound. By the time
okay. But Meadows says, no, everything he gave had been unclassified by Trump.
Well, I would say there's a reason those documents were brought back, and I would... That's a very dubious response, in my opinion, because 1, we got those documents back for a reason, and 2, those documents still have not been fully declassified by the Justice Department.
Yeah, that's a potential law violation.
Correct, and that is also it goes to show how there was a mentality in the Trump administration of being frivolous with some of our with some of our country's most sensitive national security secrets. And do we really want people like that back in power?
She claims that the Trump administration was frivolous with the country's most sensitive national secrets, and implying that Donald Trump just stole them. But as I was watching this video, the moment they said crossfire hurricane, then instantly I knew this whole thing was bogus. Memorandum on declassification of certain materials related to the FBI's Crossfire Hurricane investigation. This was a memorandum released by the White House on January 19th of 2021, a day before Joe Biden's inauguration, so Donald Trump's last day in office, where they explicitly announced the declassification at the request of the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, on December 30th, 2020. The Department of Justice provided the White House with a binder of materials related to the FBI's Crossfire Hurricane investigation. Portions of the document in the binder have remained classified and have not been released to Congress or the public. I requested the documents so that a declassification review could be performed, and so I could determine to what extent materials in the binder should be released in unclassified form. I determined that the materials in that binder should be declassified to the maximum extent possible. In response, as part of the iterative process of the declassification review under cover letter dated January 17th, 2021, the FBI noted its continuing objection to any further declassification of the materials in the binder, and also, on the basis of a review that included intelligence community equities, identified passages that it believed it was most crucial to keep from public disclosure. I have determined to accept the redactions proposed for continued declassification by the FBI in that January 17th submission. I hereby declassify the remaining materials in that binder. This is my final determination under the declassification review, and I have directed the Attorney General to implement the redactions proposed by the FBI's January 17th submission. So that's pretty much the memorandum. Donald Trump declassified the binder. It's also Trump's document. You know, this idea that Russian intelligence went missing under Trump is completely inaccurate. It's not a proper description of the events here. This is an FBI document that Donald Trump requested during his time as sitting president of the United States with unilateral authority to do so. He then accepted a couple redactions and declassified the remainder of the binder. And then from my understanding, logic follows, the rest isn't really relevant under the Presidential Records Act. The president has absolute authority to keep his own documents and to declassify pretty much whatever he wants as president of the United States. That's it, literally. There's nothing else to it. I know CNN is writing 10 million words and spending thousands of dollars on graphics and photo licenses so they can make this big, extravagant piece going into how concerning it is for national security, concern related to the Trump Organization and their connection to Russia. Yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. A whole load of nothing. The binder was declassified through the absolute presidential authority of the president, and so it pretty much ends there. I think the FBI is just a little bit mad that Trump got a little one-up on him on his last day in office, collecting a whole bunch of relevant documents relating to James Comey and the lovers Lisa Page and Peter Strzok's little bogus Hillary Clinton-funded investigation. Another nothing burger, the mystery of the missing binder. I don't care. Anyways, that's what I got for you guys. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.